such kind words. You make the expectations soar. I suspected most people would leave after lunch. Your talk held them. And of course, the lure of making some money by investing in bitcoins. And I was afraid they'll run away now, but you've kept them here, so thank you so much. It's also frightening to go with expectations. And it's always the case in SFL conferences for him and me that we get assigned to post-lunch slots, so that I like to believe people think our speeches are like lullabies and give you a nice comforting sleep. So what is it we are discussing here really? What are we trying to ascertain? The nature of the state? The nature of economy? The nature of money? Are we unclear about what is right, what is wrong? Are we unclear on how we should shape our life, our country, our society, our future? And what kind of evidence has history provided us so far on which we may conclude without too much of doubt as to what is right? I'll run you in the era of big data through a very nice introduction. It's a timeline in a book that I've loved recently, reading a lot, called Sapiens. It says, Sapiens, a brief history of humankind. I'll just throw some numbers at you. Just keep these numbers at the back of your mind and we'll go forward. It says years from before today and an event. 13.5 billion years ago. 13.5 billion years ago, matter and energy appear, birth of universe, beginning of physics, atoms and molecules, beginning of chemistry. 4.5 billion years, formation of planet Earth. 3.8 billion years back, emergence of the first unicellular organism, beginning of biology. 6 million years back, the last common grandmother of human beings and chimpanzee dies. 2.5 million years ago, the evolution of the Homo sapien race. This of course includes others also, Homo erectus, Duus, and so on and so forth. First stone tools start appearing 2 million years ago. Humans spread from Africa to Eurasia. Evolution of different kinds of human species. Not just us, there are other kinds of humans, species on this planet Earth. 5 lakh years back, Neanderthals evolved in Europe and Middle East. 3 lakh years back, 3 lakh years back. Imagine 13.5 billion years, universe, 4.5 billion years Earth, 3 lakh years back, fire tamed. Fire tamed. 2 lakh years back, 1 lakh years after the fire is tamed, Homo sapien appears on the planet Earth. 70,000 years ago, language, cognitive revolution. But 30,000 years back, Neanderthals die out. 16,000 years back, sapiens settle in America. 16,000 years. 12,000 years back, 12,000, agriculture. The revolution begins. Domestication of plants and animals. Permanent settlements. 5,000 years ago, first kingdom, first written language, script, first money, religions take birth. 4,500 years back, the first known empire of a humankind, beyond the tribe. 2,500 years back, coins, universal money, the Persian Empire, Buddhism born in India. 2,000 years back, Han's Empire in China, Roman Empire collapses, Christianity born. 1,400 years back, Islam. 500 years is the entire scientific revolution. Mankind understands we don't know so much and starts trying to find out. 500 years back. 200 years, industrial revolution, consequences and differences on should it be capitalism, should it be socialism, should it be dictatorship. We are here, we don't know about the future. This is the kind of broad summary. 13.5 billion years, 4.5 billion, about 5,000 years modern human society. Think about it. Now, we cannot possibly agree here today whether there is a God or not. Whether the entire universe was born by an intelligent design of somebody saying, let there be the universe or not. We know this much. There is a universe. An intelligent guess seems to suggest it's 13.5 billion years back. We know there is this planet Earth. We know that certain lakhs of years back it began cooling. This is how life evolved. And there is so much we know, there is so much we don't know, so much we speculate, so much we trust and believe and put our faith in and saying this must be true. Will we die? Yes. Will we go somewhere else after dying? We can't really be certain and agree upon. We can choose to disagree. The question is therefore, on this planet Earth, what do we do? How do we live? How do we deal with each other? How do we deal with each other in large numbers? What seems to be right? What seems to be wrong? And acknowledge three things here. In that vast journey, I asked you to recall briefly about the accident by which we find ourselves, you and me here. We could easily have not been on this planet Earth. Life need not have happened. Or maybe the tigers could have eaten up all those early Neanderthals and there would never have been a human being. The human being did not continue to jump on four legs like the monkey stood up on two legs. Two hands became free, began using the other two hands to use tools. We found fire, we started cooking, we did not need a big stomach like the lion or the tiger. Smaller stomach meant the energy went into the head. Our skull grew 7, 8, 10, 30 centimeters. We have a brain. And this much is true about human beings, I'm sure you'll all agree. When a human baby is born, they are the least prepared living creature on planet Earth. When a human baby is born, 1 hour, the tiger's cub or the elephant's cub or the cow, in a few minutes they stand up and start walking. They need a bit of society, of course, to survive. But human beings need it for two reasons. The learning is very deep. The fish learns to swim on its own. The birds seem to, with a little help, learn flying, and the mother can let go. They can live. Their brain is enough to teach them survival. We are social by design for survival. If you leave a 1 hour-old baby in the jungle, 25 years later it can't come here and start giving a speech. So there seems to be an evolutionary sense of trait in us, like all other living creatures, like the monkey, like the chimpanzee, to belong to a group. That's how human societies were formed. And the strongest of people were put in forward to defend, and then some people were put in to do agriculture, then women was not strong enough to go and hunt. So the human divide of gender was born there. These were the things. It is only in the last 500 years that the knowledge of humankind has reached such a scale. And in the last 5,000 years, people have understood that superiority of human beings on planet is supreme, is final. tigers cannot challenge us, lions cannot, and sharks can't unless you do scuba diving in the wrong parts of the ocean. It is here this question begins to take a sea change. Till that time, we were fine being a tribe, we were a member, we were not important, we lived a life for the larger tribe. We lived for the larger tribe because the tribe had to survive. Your wife, your children, everybody had survived, and we were willing to give up our life for each other. We had that sense of social identity. This sense of knowledge, this society we have now created gives us a scope to create individually such extraordinary things as invent an aeroplane, create the bulb, find ways to vaccine the whole of humankind against a disease, build economic empires, build billions of dollars, build Bitcoin revolutions, design a mobile phone, start a social revolution, and so on and so forth. So individuals, human beings, are therefore split evolutionarily, biologically. Okay, there's lunch for those who did not have lunch. So how many of you did not have lunch? With all due apologies, Chakravarti Garu and all of you, please walk out, the lunch is there. This time you can't bring it in and put the auditorium authorities in trouble. So we will respect government and society here for a while. So please go pick up your lunch. All those who have not had. Okay? So we want to belong to society, we want to be individual, we are willing to give some things to society, we are not willing to give everything to society. We would like to be individualistic, but we cannot be so individualistic as to say, I'll go up, walk up the Everest and sit there till forever. How much of trade-off between me and society is okay, and what is the basis of it? Is the crux of question of everything we have spoken till today, everything mankind has debated for the last 500 years. How much can you be you? How much do you have to be a larger identity? It could be a human being, it could be a woman, it could be a man, it could be Indian, it could be Hindu, it could be Dalit, it could be Reddy, it could be South Indian, North Indian, vegetarian, drinker, smoker, homosexual, heterosexual, bisexual, swimmer, scuba diver, anything. Each of these identities involves an exchange of giving a part of it. So on what basis does individual and society negotiate? That is the crux of all questions of politics, of sociology, and the basis could be anthropology, it could be religious, and so on and so forth. Liberty has a viewpoint that comprehensively addresses all human questions. This is really the framing of the question. Now the point is, 7,000 years ago, we belonged to a group that needed to be violent to live. You know, suddenly in a cave and the bear or the hyena comes, can you negotiate and say, go to police station and complain against you? The law prohibits you. So you needed to kill it or die. Violence, therefore, has a sense of being imprinted in our evolutionary trait, and a sense of when this group called society, the tribal, emerged, we decided we are safer, we are better off being a tribe. So we'll have some people become, stronger, exercising, learning how to use the knife, protect everybody. Some people will keep the knowledge of how to grow the grain, where, when, and store it, and some people will. This was done not to keep the tribe prosperous and safe alone. It was supposed to be a trade-off where the individual benefits equally in negotiation with society, and it was voluntary. Around 2,300 years ago, Socrates asked a question. Quis custodiet ipsos custodiet means, who will guard the guard? Who will be the custodian of the custodian? This is the crux of giving power over society to anybody. It's all fine, we are a society, somebody needs to protect us, somebody needs to form the laws. Bharat ane nenu, you know, what can I give Bharat? When will Bharat become Prakash Raj in real life? He's a big threat. And the question that Socrates asked was, how do I guard the guard? I give him the gun. What if he starts misusing the gun against me? That's about the question. I give it in good intent. All of us say, let's have some money, let's buy a gun, let him become strong, he will take care of us, we'll all obey him. What if he turns against us and becomes an absolute despot? One answer this country called India gave was religion. Lord Ram, what a great man. His father had 3 wives, he had only one. He came to this planet Earth to keep the legacy of Dharma, the message that Krishna later on said, Yada yada hi dharmasya. So once in a while these kings will become despotic, but don't worry, God will come 10 times totally. Spookily, the same number 10 also has reflection in the commandments. The gods always deal with 10, which is why Sachin Tendulkar bears 10 in India, and Pele football, which is why I'm mistrustful of all of them, including Tendulkar, Pele and God, Moses and all. It was at that time somebody understood that human being had ceased to be a creature in instant physical danger all the time and needed to be controlled by morality. It's very crude to take a sword and keep hunting and killing people and controlling them. The Egyptians did it when they built the pyramids. You can recall these guys, on camels and horses, whipping the laborer. You must have seen the scene in Bahubali, pat. Sorry? Yes, so on and so forth. These days they call them project managers. Anyway. But they don't have the whiff. The IAS officer doesn't have the whiff. This trick was found out by a man who never existed, a bit like Bitcoin, called Robin Hood. Have you heard of a man called Robin Hood? Yes. He is the father of all nations on the world today. Not Gandhiji, India, not Jinnah, Pakistan, not Mao, modern China, etc. Robin Hood is the father of all modern nations. He told you there is only one good: loot the rich, feed the poor. Loot the rich, feed the poor. And the way we do it in modern world is called Raghram Rajan. Inflation, John Maynard Keynes, deficit financing, 8,000% of loss of asset value over 3 decades or something, and so on and so forth. But what does all this mean? It means, and the turning point of man's politics is the French Revolution. Till then it was very easy, this game. There is a God, and God sent these beautiful kings to serve us by ruling us. It is your job, it is your obedience to God to obey this king. If the king said, stand on your head, stand on the head. It's what God wants. In the French Revolution, they forever destroyed a myth of a linguistic phrase called blue blood. And blue blood means royalty. So they chopped off the head of the queen and they found his red blood. Said, what? No blue blood. These guys are same as us. No more kings. So the divine rights theory, when we brought in social contract theory and we said there was no God, there never was a God that got involved in all these matters. God never said let the kings rule. We all came together some mythical 1 lakh years back. We created something called the government. We gave part of our absolute right, all of us, little bit, and gave it power so that it may serve us. Just understand that mankind has not had enough time to understand and absorb the significance of the French Revolution on our psyche of evolution. Till then, we believed we are supposed to respect the king, we are supposed to respect society because we are inferior to society. The French Revolution said, society, country is to save you, take care of you. The day it does not, it doesn't deserve to be. This was the greatest of events, but it's so short. When I say so short, I like the Chinese who have a law, and we have a talk on China of this. This is the sense of time that China has, and the sense of time Americans have, the sense of time and history we have is all different. That's one cultural difference. So Chinese people have a very long time sense. So apparently somebody asked the Chinese ruler 20, 30 years back, what do you think of the French Revolution? He said, we did not have enough time to understand it fully. 200, 300 years seems too long for us. In Indian history, we moved from monarchy of the Lord Ram, Lord Krishna type variety. In between we had Shahid Kapoor and Deepika Padukone and Ranveer. And then suddenly this Tom Alter version of Goli Maro, Jallianwala Bagh kind of a thing. So suddenly the Britishers came. We are goddamn confused in 1947. On one hand we say we are secular, on one hand we were just chopped into two pieces based on religion. We had two Pakistans on two sides. And we did what most Indian students do when they're not prepared very well for the exam and a good project submission has to be done. So you copy something from here, copy something from there. So our founding fathers gave us the world's largest constitution. The directive principles comes from Ireland, the fundamental rights come from America, the bulk of the penal